Welcome back to another episode of Me versus Me. My name is Shayna.
My name is Maker.
And our purpose is to ignite passion, purpose, and intentional living by redefining past and present circumstances as catalysts for an extraordinary future.
That sounds good. This episode is called Hugging Strangers. Might sound a little crazy. Might sound like it's something that's outside of your comfort zone. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. We're going to explore in this episode how your comfort zone is the quickest way to guarantee that you're going to live a life of discomfort. This is not an episode that you're going to want to miss. So stick around, let's get into it.
Like a waiting every day, I'm staring straight into the mirror, face my fears now. I've been moving faithfully, they've been trying to come for me, they've been trying to take from me. If I ever happen to fall, bet I do that gracefully. Take my losses gratefully, cause I know they gon' strengthen me. Ain't no breaking me, ain't no thing to see. They just ain't the same as me. They spend every day, they breathe and make believe, trying to make it seem like they major league, but that's Maybelline. I just say my piece, then retreat, cause I know I can't change a thing but me. Say la vie.
Get out of your comfort zone. Somebody's told you that before. I'm sure you've heard it, and a lot of y'all have probably said it to somebody. I know I have. But most of the time, we're playing small ball when we're talking about getting out of your comfort zone. We usually use it in relation to going to a new restaurant. Get out of your comfort zone. Come try this food out. Or watching a new movie. Or traveling to a new city. But that's not where the comfort zone ends. That's where it starts. Your comfort zone is comprised of everything that you know. And every day, if you think about it as a home, it's your home. Every morning you wake up in this home and you step out of the house and you go out into the real world and you come back home. Your home is your comfort zone. But you're bringing back with you new insights, new knowledge, new emotions, new experiences. So your comfort zone is actually growing with you. But what happens if you stop going outside of the house every morning? Your comfort zone stays the same, stops growing. And in life, if you're not growing, you're dying. So you have to get out of your comfort zone. It's not a nice thing to do every once in a while. It's a matter of survival. The question, though, is how do you get out of your comfort zone? People ask me, how do I get out of my comfort zone? It's terrifying. It's I don't want to, why does it have to be so drastic? I get that. I used to have the same outlook towards it. Here's the trick. Do it on purpose. It's a hack. If you step out of your comfort zone, you step out into the unknown with the intention of learning, growing, getting better, faster, stronger, smarter, and coming home back to your comfort zone, it alleviates so much pressure and so much fear. You're not living outside of your comfort zone. You're just going there every day. And it becomes part of your routine. And then your comfort zone expands and expands and expands. So if you're doing it on purpose, how do you make it fun? How do you make it easier? And how do you make it more impactful? If you're doing it on purpose, your brain knows that you're not going to hurt yourself. So now it goes, okay, we're going to do something. This can't be harmful. Oh my God, we're doing something that I thought was going to kill me. You remember in Untrue Colors, I said your brain creates neural associations with words. Marriage. Different things like that. But the example I used was jump. Every time your brain hears the word jump, it opens the file cabinet and all these associations and experiences of jump come running to the front. It does that with everything. And in Hugging Strangers, we're going to explore that and talk about that hack, doing it on purpose. You don't hug people that you don't know. You only hug people that you know, you love, and people that make you feel safe. Strangers are people that you don't know, people that you don't love, and people that may be a threat. So if you take two opposing things and you mesh them together, you become present, fully present. And then you get to run the show. That's what we're talking about in Hugging Strangers.
I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so good. I think my favorite part about what you were saying there was how you can take, how you can get out of your comfort zone on purpose.
Yeah.
I think a really good example of that was recently when we went to Tony Robbins' conference, Unleash the Power Within.
100%.
That Wednesday, we went to check in, and I remember people were just dancing, and there was loud music, and it was lots of people in this huge arena, and we had to go through this process to get registered.
Yeah.
And I remember leaving there, and as soon as we walked outside, I went...
Yeah.
Like, I took the biggest deep breath because I was so anxious that whole entire time. But we knew going in, because we were a part of the Facebook group, that number one, we had to play full out and enjoy every second of it. And number two, that it was probably going to get very uncomfortable. Yeah. So as soon as we got there and we started experiencing, you were on cloud nine. You were just like... Yeah,
which is weird for me.
Yeah, and I was like... Because I'm normally the one who loves that kind of environment, but I was very nervous and did not want to get out of my comfort zone. Yeah. And I remember just feeling super anxious that whole entire time, but I was trying to enjoy it. And I was trying to think about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, how we were going to be fully immersed in this kind of energy and how I was going to deal with it. And I remember we were planning on going to the casino, but we ended up staying back and having a dinner and kind of just reflecting on that 20-minute experience that we had.
And we journaled about it.
We journaled about it, yeah. And then I remember Thursday morning. Nothing. From Thursday to Sunday, I was high-fiving, hugging, fully presently immersed in the whole entire thing. Mm-hmm. And it was just that moment of discomfort that I felt on Wednesday that allowed me to be fully present, just like you were talking about, and completely experience the most life-changing event of my life.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So that's exactly why you were able to... That's the reason that UPW was so life-changing for you, because you were fully present. Anytime you step out of your comfort zone, you're on alert. You don't know. You're in the unknown, so you don't know. Like, it's the definition of, right? Like, you don't know, so you're on high alert because, again, your brain is designed to keep you alive. But you knew that UPW was, you signed up to go there. Mm-hmm. You wanted to be there. You were just uncomfortable with the amount of people and the community aspect and having to play full out. But once you came to terms with the two and you meshed the two, it changed your life. Like, literally, I remember walking out Wednesday and like you had like a little anxiety, but Thursday you opened up. Friday you opened up way past that. Saturday you were like, what? By Saturday, you were walking around high-fiving people on the way to the restroom. Yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? You don't like people. And you were like, I don't know. I love people now. I love people again. And it changed you. Like, how do you think that, like, did you day-to-day move with the fear?
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure when I developed that dislike for people and public situations and stuff like that, because I did pageants and I was on stage in a bikini. So, I mean, I don't know when I started to not enjoy interacting. I think that came with my anxiety and fear of XYZ, who knows? Limiting beliefs of maybe I'm not going to be liked, or I'm not really sure. But being back to enjoying conversations with random strangers and just feeling nothing but love, looking at the good in people, not the bad, I think that stemmed from the change and getting out of my comfort zone and literally hugging strangers in that event, dancing my butt off, and just being my true self in an arena of 8,000 people and not caring what anybody thinks. Like, getting out of my comfort zone and just living to my truth. That's what did it.
So you, by doing it on purpose, you allowed yourself to step out of your comfort zone into the unknown while simultaneously being comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So usually we're only 100% ourselves when we're in the shower or when we're driving by ourselves, singing, like when we're alone. Very rarely do we allow ourselves to be authentically ourselves in public settings. You were forced to do it here. Mm-hmm. And then you said, okay, since everybody's saying this is how I get to make the most of this situation or this experience, I'm going to do it. And you embraced it and you allowed yourself to do that. So your brain allowed you to do it because you set the intention. Now, comfortable in your own skin goes a lot broader, a lot greater than an event in a social setting, right? Like doing something that you are uncomfortable with is how you become comfortable long term. Doing something that you are comfortable with is how you become uncomfortable long term. For example, going to the gym or a lifestyle. If you go to work every day and then on the way home, you're like, I'm tired. I just want to relax. I just want to sit on the couch. Okay. So you want to be comfortable. And you're like, man, I just want to do that as soon as possible. Like, I don't feel like cooking. Cool. So you stop and you grab some fast food. You grab some comfort food. You go home and you set everything up and you turn the TV on. And you're like, I'm about to go change. So you put your comfortable clothes on. And then you sit down with your comfort food on this sofa and you do that and you eat and you do that one day, you do that 2 days, you do that over a sustained period of time. You're choosing comfort over discomfort. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're uncomfortably overweight versus, you know what? I want to be comfortable in my own skin. So I'm going to go be uncomfortable every day at the gym. I'm going to go push myself and I'm going to sweat to the point where I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to be breathing heavy. I'm uncomfortable. And this is exactly how I'm going to become comfortable long term in my own skin.
Isn't that the perfect example of what we went through, though?
100%.
Our journey. You were saying that, and I can imagine us coming home from when you were even working corporate, and then when I was working and you weren't. We would literally come home, pick up some Chick-fil-A, get super comfortable on the couch, make sure we change into our jammies, and then binge watch Netflix and then I would pour, like, I have a glass that can fit a bottle of wine.
It's a goblet.
And I would put a whole bottle of wine in that glass, and that would be the rest of our night.
You would be coming home from work. I was already home. I would get uncomfortable, meaning I would put, like, clothes on and get in a car so I can go get comfort food. Yeah. Like, I had completely, like, flip-flopped the whole paradigm. But that was our life.
That's so right. You have to get out of your comfort zone to be comfortable long term. I mean, the example that you were talking about, like, you were not ever comfortable in wearing t-shirts.
No, I didn't like to wear t-shirts. I don't know why. Like, well, I know why now, but at the time I was like, I don't know, t-shirts just don't look good on me. Like, you start making up all this nonsense. Literally, anytime we would go out, I would either wear a cutoff or a button-up. And it's because I was uncomfortable with how I looked. Like, I felt like I knew I was overweight and I didn't feel comfortable wearing a t-shirt. Now I wear a t-shirt every single day in my life. And how did I get here? How did I become comfortable in a t-shirt? By making myself uncomfortable in the gym. It's it's a matter of instant gratification versus delayed gratification. If I want this thing, how uncomfortable am I willing to be to get it? What am I willing to do to acquire this? And if I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do this, I'll become uncomfortable. I have no problem with being uncomfortable because I'm going to get comfort here. Versus, I'm not so sure if I really want that. So I'm just going to take a little piece of it and get it today. That's instant gratification. And every day we live in an instant gratification world. Like, the age of social media is instant gratification. You post something, you get a like. You post something, you get a comment. It's instant gratification. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and then when you stay in that instant gratification world, you don't realize all the things that you're missing out on, because then you're XYZ amount of age, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, this is not what I wanted for my life.
Yeah. I don't know if I can coin the term satification or madification, but that's what you're delaying. Or fatification, I don't know. Because I had all three on the way. If you're choosing to be comfortable today, that's not all you're choosing. You are also, as a byproduct, choosing to be uncomfortable tomorrow. It's two sides to the same coin. Comfort. Comfortable or uncomfortable? You choose. Whatever you pick today, you get the other side tomorrow. So, if you choose uncomfortable today, then in your future, you have comfort. And then you sit there for a minute, and then you flip the coin again, and you choose uncomfortable, and then tomorrow you get comfort. So every day you get both. But if you choose comfort every day, then you're just, like, uncomfortable is just compounding.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it comes running in like a freight train, and you're depressed, and you're anxious, and you're overweight, and you might be underperforming at work, you might get fired, and your relationships are failing, and life happens. That's what people say, oh, life happened. You know, life happens. Yeah, you chose to be comfortable every day.
So what ways do you think that you stepped out of your comfort zone during Tony Robbins' conference?
Oh, man. Every way I can possibly think of. Like, I hug people, but I hug people that I know. I hug everybody that I know. I don't just go around hugging strangers. But I must have hugged dozens of people on day one. Like, you walk in and, like, I think you said Wednesday when we went for to register, like, for registration, to check in. His whole team was like, the energy was so high. I knew that I was getting ready to be uncomfortable, and it excited me. That's the only reason I was walking around, because they're all like, high five, you ready? You ready? And they, like, want you to match their energy, and you, like, the energy, my hero inside me, that's when I was like, oh, I had butterflies. My hero's wanting to come and play. Like, it's that energy wanted to come out, and I let it. And when I let it, you just become hyper present. So you're essentially in a flow state, walking through life. You're just here. You're just living. You're not worried about the past. You're not worried about tomorrow. You're just here. You're not worried about fear of acceptance. Oh, are they going to judge me? You don't worry about that, because 8,000 people in an arena dancing, and you think that they're going to turn and look at you for dancing? No. If you don't dance, then you're the oddball, right? Like, it's a matter of getting comfortable in your own skin. And for me, that's something that I always had trouble with. Like, allowing myself to play all out. And even if I know I'm going to perform really well, I still used to sabotage my success because I didn't want to step on toes. But in that environment at UPW, everybody's playing all out. So I was like, yeah, we're playing. I was howling. I was literally howling. He was like, make the sound of your soul coming unleashed. And I started howling. And then for a minute, I was like, what am I? And then I was like, I guess I'm a wolf. And I just kept howling. I didn't care.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I literally feel like our souls became free at that conference. It's just the most incredible experience. And that's the takeaway from that experience was play full out and get the hell out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because when you get out of your comfort zone, you allow yourself to experience life in a whole different way that you never even thought was possible. And I think just day to day, we can learn to take that and see how we can grow. How can we get better? And you can't move forward and get better if you're still doing the same thing that you were doing yesterday. Period.
No, you cannot. It's your comfort zone is the definition of complacency.
Yeah.
Like, your comfort zone is perfect for who you are today, only if it's growing with you. You can't go to sleep tonight in yesterday's comfort zone. You'll have anxiety. You can't go to sleep in tomorrow's comfort zone. You haven't experienced it yet. You have to go to sleep in today's comfort zone. And that's when you have bliss in the moment. When you talk about, like, be happy with what you have. Like, I'm realizing this now, like, be happy with what you have. Be grateful. Appreciate what you have. People really look at that as either I become hyper ambitious and I go all out tunnel vision on these things that I don't have, or I just become a monk and I'm here and I'm super happy that I have this. But that's not it. That's two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You have to flip the coin. If you have a balance, then you will slowly teeter your way up to a fulfilled life. I'm super grateful for what I have today. I'm also extremely excited to go out and go on the hunt to find what I want. So you create this balance of happy with what I have now and excited for what I'm going to get tomorrow. So every single day becomes a learning process. You have curiosity in your life. You're constantly growing. That's how you keep your life exciting and adventurous, and you are constantly changing your identity and, like, you're shape-shifting. Yeah. And that's the most exciting thing. People say don't change. People are terrified of change. And it makes no sense.
And I think that it's so funny, and we're going to actually get into this in a future episode, mm-hmm. but they think that changing, or the way you are is the way you are, and mm-hmm. you're unable to change. I think that was probably one of the biggest misconceptions I had heard in my whole entire life, yep. that people don't change.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, that's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Let the dog decide.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cool. So how do you think me versus me pertains to our episode of hugging strangers for you?
If you think about a room with 4 walls as your comfort zone, and there's one door to get out, guess who the bouncer is? You. There's nobody standing there saying, no. Your parents are not standing there saying, no, don't go talk to that person. No, don't go eat at that restaurant. It's you. Stepping out of your comfort zone is the epitome of getting out of your own way. If you move yourself out of your own way, you can see that there's a door behind you. But you're just standing here like a pillar, and every time you're, like, walking around this room and you look at yourself, you're like, oh, this is all there is to life. Okay, you turn around, this is all there is to life. No, just move yourself and you see that there's a door behind there. Mm-hmm. And when you see a door, what does that spark? Curiosity. I wonder what's behind this door. And then you go through it playfully with curiosity and you learn. And next thing you know, you're in another room with another bouncer that's you and standing in front of another door. And you just keep going and your room keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what getting out of your comfort zone and me versus me means for me.
Awesome.
But what is it for you?
I think for me, it's about helping people understand that if at any point in your life you're sitting on social media or you're sitting on your phone looking at something and you say, I wish I had that. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Or this person's doing this person's doing this. Nobody's special. That person's doing it because they got out of their comfort zone. And you are able to do it too. Yeah. Nobody's special. We're not special. Do you know how hard this was for us to get to this point? Yeah. Do you know how many fears, doubts, so many things, people's comments, negative connotations, so much stuff we had to fight and get out of our comfort zone because we know our purpose. And I want to share that because everybody has a purpose, but you have to change in order to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, I keep forgetting that quote.
If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. Is that the quote?
That's a quote. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. So if you want a different outcome, you have to do something different.
You have to go out.
Period.
If you want a different outcome, you have to come out
Yeah.
of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
There, that's a good way to remember it. And when people talk about being fearless, when people want to have less fear, how do you get it? People who are in their comfort zone go, I want to be fearless. So they think that they have all the answers in their comfort zone, that different things that are going to help them become fearless. No. When you step into fear, you learn it and you fear less. You're never going to be without fear. But stepping out of your comfort zone allows you to fear less and less.
So with that being said, this is the end of this episode called Hugging Strangers.
Hugging weirdos.
Please subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment. It would mean the world to us if you did that. Please share our episodes. We really hope to make such a great impact on this planet by just learning and growing, and we hope that we're doing that for you.
And till next time, keep moving.
Bye.
Watch your mouth when I come around. I'ma shut it down. Got that sound that's gonna run the town. In and out the town. Ain't no way around it. Flows astounding. And I got that bounce. Pound for pound. Hardest out. Hardest out.